Alright, welcome everybody, welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a video where today I'm going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 console, something a little bit different to what I usually talk about, and I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on why I think the PlayStation 5 is the worst next-gen console we've ever gotten by Sony. Now obviously this is just going to be my opinion, but the PlayStation 5 has been out for nearly 3 years now, and I've owned my one for about 2 years, and I know a lot of people that are still keen to buy one, and I guess I'm just going to be giving a review or my thoughts on why you're not missing out on too much if you don't have a PS5. Now just to be clear here, I'm not saying the PlayStation 5 is the worst console Sony has made. I'm saying it's the worst next-gen console we've gotten. So comparing the generations between PlayStation 1 to 2, from 2 to 3, from 3 to 4, and then from 4 to 5, I believe this has been the worst jump from console to console. And no, I'm not an Xbox player or a PC gamer, I'm literally straight PlayStation, so this is just going to be an honest opinion. Hear me out. So when you look at the history of PlayStation consoles and you see the changes in generations from consoles like the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2, you see a massive change in gameplay, accessibility. The console is completely different, the graphics, everything about the games improve, the accessibility of the console improve from the PlayStation 1 to the PlayStation 2. Then you get even more of a change when you go from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. There's more online accessibility, the games improve, graphically, frame rate, the games are better, everything is better from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3. Not knocking on the PlayStation 2, because the PlayStation 2 is still one of my favorite consoles. I still go back to it from time to time, but the change from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 3 is massive. And then you see another change from the PlayStation 3 to the PlayStation 4. Even though it wasn't as massive of a change from PlayStation 2 to 3, the PlayStation 3 compared to the PlayStation 4 is still a big difference from accessibility to gaming wise, graphically, all of the above. Then when you look at the difference between PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, honestly, there isn't much of a difference. And the number one priority when you buy a console is going to be the video games. And the video games that I've played on the PlayStation 5 so far are games like God of War Ragnarok, Dead Space Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, which have all been fantastic games. As far as gaming experience from PlayStation 4 to 5, in my opinion, it's been very similar, basically the same thing. Not a big difference. Like when you compare a PlayStation 2 game to a PlayStation 3 or a PlayStation 3 to a PlayStation 4, it's nowhere near the same from PlayStation 4 to 5. And yes, I do play on a 4K monitor that can do up to 120 FPS, and still I don't see that much of a difference. Like let's look at God of War 2018 compared to God of War Ragnarok, which came out in 2022. I played God of War 2018 on the PS4, and I played God of War Ragnarok, the PS5 version, on the PS5. And there honestly isn't that much of a difference, even playing on a 4K monitor with higher FPS. It's literally the same game with faster loading time and looks a little bit better maybe. But you can literally still play God of War Ragnarok on the PlayStation 4 and still have a pretty good experience playing on it. It's not going to be as good as the PS5, but you're honestly not missing out on that much. So is it really worth getting a PlayStation 5 because the game loads up a little bit faster and it looks slightly better? I don't think so. The main reason it isn't worth getting a PlayStation 5 is because you can get just as good as a gaming experience playing the PlayStation 4 and playing the games that you would get on the PlayStation 5. You can also play with the same people as PlayStation 5 even while you're on a PlayStation 4 console, because there's crossplay in majority of games. People might say that the PlayStation 5 has backwards compatibility, but that's only to PlayStation 4 games. If the PlayStation 5 had backwards compatibility to like PlayStation 3 games, like the old Call of Duty games, and even PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 1 games, that would make a massive difference. But unfortunately, the only games that are backwards compatible are the PlayStation 4 games. A major thing that's holding back the PlayStation 5's potential is that game developers are still making games suitable for the PlayStation 4 rather than making it for the PlayStation 5. For example, God of War Ragnarok, they released it both on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, holding back the potential of how good God of War Ragnarok could have been, but because they had sales in mind, they released it on both consoles, and the PlayStation 4 cannot hold that much data and cannot handle how fast-paced God of War Ragnarok could have been if it was fully made for the PlayStation 5. And that's why, again, there's no use of getting a PlayStation 5 because you're not going to get the full potential out of the game, because you can just get it on the PlayStation 4 for slightly cheaper and still get just as good as an experience you would get on PlayStation 5. You also have to take into consideration that if you do get a PlayStation 5, you're also going to have to get the equipment suitable for the PlayStation 5, like a new 4K monitor or a TV, so that way you can get the best experience out of the PlayStation 5, which is just going to cost more money. So in my opinion, is the PlayStation worth the $700 it costs to buy? No. As of right now, no. You should honestly just stick to the PlayStation 4. If it's still working and you got no issues with your PlayStation 4, then you might as well just stick to it. But if you need to get a new console, then yeah, get the PlayStation 5. But don't think it's going to make a massive improvement. I'm also not sure if this is how it is for the Xbox as well, from the Xbox One compared to the Xbox Series X. I'm not exactly sure because I haven't really played and experienced the Xbox for myself, so I'm not going to give my opinions on that. But this is my opinion on the PlayStation 5. Let me know what you think about my thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you everybody for watching. Have a good day, have a good night. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.